What up, though? Welcome to Beats, Rhymes, and Parlays, where the stats hit different and every parlay got a beat behind it. It's your boy, Mr. CEO, in the building with your boy, Jay. What up, though?
What's good, everybody? My parlay hit last weekend. How did yours do? I ain't talking to
Yeah.
you, CEO. I'm talking to the audience.
Since you want to jump to the we could jump up there. All
I,
right, we got that. The parlay down there. Parlay name here plus 350.
hey, any money is good money, man. We
Yes.
had a good weekend last weekend. Everything
Yeah.
went good. Only thing that I was surprised from last weekend, to be honest, was I'm shocked that Indiana went up there and beat Oregon like that. I'm
Yeah.
more shocked about that than Penn State losing to Northwestern, personally.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, man. It didn't shock me as much. That's why I stayed off that game. Remember, I was like, I'm not betting them because I just don't know. Dante Moore, I don't know. They all on the Heisman and all that, but I don't really trust Dante Moore like that. And then Oregon hadn't played nobody, and then the team we thought they played was Penn State. You know what I'm saying? Indiana really ain't played nobody but Iowa, but that's why I stayed off that game. And I felt like Indiana could win. I guess by 10, you might be right. But I did feel like they can win. But other than that, yeah, I think everything else was the Penn State happened. You know, everybody know about that. We talked about that multiple shows. But yeah, I think
And
that's about
Michigan.
it.
I
Michigan,
was shocked by the way they got punished, bro. Michigan got punished.
yes,
They got punished.
we
They got punished.
call
I don't even know they're gonna
UFC
recover
saw
from it.
we call UFC saw for Michigan turnaround and what?
Yeah, bro. Yeah, they out Michigan, bro. But I ain't gonna stay on it too long. But like to see Michigan get beat at their own game, and like they was
Yeah,
out there, they was stopping the line of scrimmage. They wasn't playing flat. They was rushing the ball on them. So
hmm
I mean, hats off to USC, bro. I
yeah,
mean, it makes me look at Michigan different, and we'll see if we.
yeah,
I'm interested to see what happens going forward with them guys.
definitely. And what crazier about me with Michigan is that was USC third string running back.
Yeah, I
They
know.
first two running backs just hurt. That was a third string running back, 150 yards.
You got
Yeah, man. I think
yeah,
yeah, we can jump on. But yes, he hit the parlay plus 350. That's 8 parlays hit on the show already. We only in week 8. We already hit 8 parlays.
you
Yeah, bring that
know what
champ
it
chain
is.
out, man. Yeah, you gotta bring the champ chain out. I went 1-1 last week. We cashed with Ohio State. But took an L. Think it was Florida. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. After that Florida game, I'm more up on A&M and not down on Florida. I've been slipping on A&M. They kind of played with their fool against Auburn. They did it against Mississippi State. But last week, I think A&M might be legit. We'll find out. But make sure y'all follow us, hit that like button on YouTube, and also check out our Instagram and our TikTok because we hit the Get Money Boys everywhere on all platforms. First game, we got Ohio State minus 25 and a half at Wisconsin over under 41 and a half. What you got?
I mean, less is more, man. Let's just keep it real. Wisconsin is falling apart, bro. They weak, they're frail, they light skinned. It's not going well for them at all, bro.
Mm-hmm.
And Ohio State at the end of the day, and no shots at light skinned people. I'm just joking. But at the end of the day, it's Ohio State, bro. You go and see like this week in, week out.
Mm-hmm.
As long as Ohio State is Ohio State, until they get hit with a scandal and you cut scholarships and the NIL money gets cut, ain't nobody from those parts messing with them. I don't care if it's Iowa, I don't care if it's Iowa State, I don't care if it's Wisconsin,
Mm-hmm.
Minnesota, Nebraska, any of them little weird states over there that don't really have a professional team. If they come, it don't matter if Ohio State goes there or they come here.
Mm-hmm.
Ohio State is going to drag them down the street,
Yeah.
dog walk them, punish them, laugh. By the fourth quarter, all the starters will be subbed out. There is no way. I mean, people got to get hurt.
Yeah.
If people don't get hurt, Ohio State's covering this, bro. And you really want to have a
So you would bet to 25 and a half? I would have bet it at
easy,
23, but I'm
easy,
going to stay off of it.
bro. They just lost to Iowa last week, like 30-0.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
nothing even here. I just don't like betting big spreads because I hate sweating out every little play in
Yeah.
the game. Like,
Yeah.
it's gonna happen, but
Yeah.
this is going to happen. and it ain't nothing Wisconsin can do about it, bro. It's kind of like it's kind of like when you're in court and you plead guilty and you got to stand there for sentencing. That's all. You're going to jail. It's just for how long? You know what I mean? You know you're gonna be on probation. It's how long? It's all bad, bro. It ain't even nothing. You don't even have to give notes. Everybody, bro. No. There are grandmas out here. There are like 3-year-olds out here. Everybody know Ohio State gonna beat Wisconsin. Period.
The only problem with this one is like you said, they probably didn't even practice versus Wisconsin. They probably was watching film on the next week's team. So what I can see is, and they don't need style points. Ohio State don't need style points at all. I can see Ohio State getting 31-0, like you said, by halftime, and just having backups the rest of the game, and end up being like 31-7 or something. So I know it's going to be a smack fest, but that's the only reason I didn't touch it, because like I said, why do Ohio State got to blow out this team? You know what I'm saying? They going to score 0. They can just make it 24-0 and kneel the ball the rest of the game. They're going to beat Wisconsin. You know what I'm saying? So that's the only reason. But yeah, we can move on. This one is interesting and for a couple reasons. Tennessee at Bama. Bama 8.5-point favorite, over under 58.5. What you got?
I got to take Bama because they
okay.
It's so weird to me, man. They're playing good, and they're winning games that it seems like they would have lost. It seems like once they beat Georgia, they could score with anybody. And I've seen Tennessee in these games come out like gangbusters and find a way to lose it at the very end, man. So after Alabama kind of put the wood paws to Vanderbilt, now you got for me, seeing how the SEC is, you got to beat them.
Okay.
I feel like I'm stupid to pick against him. And they quarterback, he ain't getting a lot of hype, but he getting the job done. He throwing that pill all over the place. Hitting these cats in the chest, and he putting up points, man. So yeah, Alabama, bro, and they at home, Alabama, dog.
Yeah. Bama defense has been impressive. They actually been impressive ever since that Florida State game. The defense has been impressive. The offense has not been as impressive. It's like they got the pieces, but like against Wisconsin in the second half, they scored 3 points. And even in the game versus Georgia, they needed to win. They scored 0 in the second half, didn't they?
Yep.
You see what I'm saying? It's something about that offense. I feel like they should be way more explosive than they should be. I mean, than they're showing. That I don't like about that. Tennessee can bring pressure. That's one thing they can do. But the secondary, if you get around that pressure, the secondary can be had. I do like Bama. I'm with you. Only because Tennessee, honestly, a couple of turnovers from 2 losses this year. Like I told you, they should have lost to Georgia.
They did lose.
No. Yeah, they lost to Georgia. But that actually should have been a bigger. Mississippi State, that's what it is. Yeah, they lost to Georgia. It's Mississippi State. They should have lost to Mississippi State. They had 2 punt return, like a fumble return for a touchdown and an interception for a touchdown. Other than that, that's an L. They kind of played around last week. They got the victory. They honestly, like I said, the turnovers been making them look like a better team than what they really are. But the only thing that's suspect about this game, the reason I'm not going to bet either side, Tennessee back half not good enough for me to stop Bama. But Bama's don't bring pressure. Aguilar is legit at quarterback, and I can't think of the guy's name, but he a protected first-round draft pick. What's that guy Tennessee that be mossing everybody? You know what I'm talking about?
Receiver? Yeah.
I know. And so Tennessee, the best offense.
That's the only play they got, though. That's all they got.
True, but I think Tennessee, the best offense Bama have seen to not have bring pressure, because even though Pavia is a decent offensively, he's not a throw the ball downfield. He's not going to stretch the ball downfield like Aguilar. He's basically the runs, you know what I'm saying, and kind of dink and dunk a little bit. So the reason I'm not going to touch this one, I think Tennessee can stay within that number, because I think Tennessee might be able to score. With Bama not bringing pressure and Tennessee offense being that explosive, I can see them covering that game, but I'm not going to bet it because I don't bet weak secondaries because it can go either way. So I'm going to stay away from that. But gun to head, I'm definitely taking Bama on that one. All right, we got another one. I want to hear what you got or if you got anything on this one. Auburn, Missouri, 1.5-point favorites at Auburn, over under 43.5.
All right, in this one, man, I mean, Auburn's played everybody tough.
Yes.
And Missouri has that good running game. And they got a couple receivers. I honestly feel like they were pretty close to beating Bama, so I got high
Yeah,
praise for them.
yeah.
But them traveling on the road, as I've learned in multiple years, it don't
Mm-hmm.
bode well. So in a
Mm-hmm.
situation like this, what I would do, that's a low under though. Good Lord,
Yeah, it
43
is.
and a half.
It is. It
I
is.
would just, let me see. Auburn's probably going to score 16. The team that wins scores 19. 19 plus 16. Where we at?
35.
35.
Yeah.
I take that. No, I can't do that, bro. Yeah, I have to. I have to
Okay.
because I don't think. Yeah, I'd have to take the under. I have to
Okay.
take the under. No, you know
Okay.
what? Because in a game like this, where you expect the under is going to keep getting lower, I wait till that thing get there about 40. I go over.
Okay. Okay. Nice sharp little move. CEO notes: Missouri gets pressure with blitzes. Actually has a 90 plus run grade as far as stopping the run, which is pretty good. They had Todd Simpson under pressure all game. It's honestly the most pressure I've seen Todd Simpson under all year so far. They do have holes in their secondary, but they have been able to cover it up with getting to the quarterback. The only thing about Arnold is how can he take advantage of a weak secondary? Georgia have a weak secondary. Georgia's secondary is ranked in the 80s, I think. But did you see him move up and down the field? Move up and down the field? No. So I don't think they'll be able to take advantage of Missouri weakness. And if you tell me Missouri is a good run stopping team, Auburn the only way they're gonna move the ball is running the ball. That's why I would lean Missouri. Honestly, if this was in Missouri, I would probably do a Hail Mary bet and bet some big money on it. But like you said, they're not good on the road normally, and this is their first road game. So we don't even have nothing to even go on this year or how they play on the road. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so, and it's hard to play in Auburn. Auburn do got
Yeah.
a good defense. They do got a good defense, and they do have a good home field advantage. I just think with Jackson Arnold struggles with pocket pressure, they're gonna be able to get to him. Do we got anything else?
It's hard to pick a winner in this game because Auburn will play you tough, but they don't. They lose the game. And Missouri, they world beaters at home, but on the road, man,
On the
they liable
road.
to go down there and score 7 points, bro.
So
I
a
don't
quick
like
CEO note: if y'all didn't watch the game last week versus Georgia, they was up 10-0 on Georgia. They was at the 1 yard line. They were about to go up 17-0 on Georgia. That game would have been totally different if they beat Georgia. Jackson Arnold jumped over the end zone, got the ball knocked out of his hand, fumble. Georgia get the ball, and all of a sudden they come back. So I want to give y'all that. Auburn did look a lot better watching that game than they did watching that final score. You know
But they
go.
unlucky.
You said what?
Sometimes in football, bro, you need luck, dog. And they are an unlucky team. Betting on Auburn is bad luck, bro. Betting on
is. I'm
Missouri on
only
the road
saying
is
that.
bad luck. This is a bad game.
I'm only really saying that quick to say if y'all really thinking going heavy on Missouri, I'm giving them something on Auburn to be weary of. You know what I'm saying? Don't just go in thinking like, oh, Auburn just lost to Georgia, Missouri almost beat Bama. So I'm just saying, don't auto bet it. I'm just letting y'all know Auburn played good at home. They got a good defense, and if they would have beat Georgia last week, this spread would be a lot different. Auburn will be the favorite.
Bro,
So
the only people betting on this game are in St. Louis and Northern Alabama. Everybody else ain't paying attention to these two big teams in the SEC.
Well, hopefully we got some people watching us in Missouri and Auburn. You know what I'm saying? If we don't do that, because we got some people watching our show that's living in them states, I want to give y'all something to go on when y'all make y'all bet. So now y'all see how we look. Now y'all see how we look on both sides when we go in the notes. We don't always want to just give you Missouri, because we think Missouri gonna win. I want to give y'all both sides. I want to see what Auburn can do, what Missouri can do, this so y'all can make a formed decision on yourself sometimes. Because sometimes y'all might not want our bets. Y'all might want to make your own bets. So that's what CL notes for. All right, we're gonna jump over to Louisville. This is tomorrow. Miami, 13.5-point favorites at home, over under 50.5. We just talked about this pre-show, man. What you got?
This is these are Friday night games. Me personally, I don't trust Friday night games at all. If Miami was on the road, I would take Louisville, but since they're at home, Mike Irvin gonna be down there. He gonna make sure them dudes is up and ready. 13.5 is quite a bit, but Louisville don't look as good as I personally thought they were when Virginia. It seemed like Virginia kind of set the tone. I fully expect Miami as they're gonna have a bye week in the playoffs, bro. I expect them to cover this. And another thing, I think they're gonna go over 50 as well. So. But my bet would be Miami covering.
Okay. So I'm gonna lean Miami. I'm not gonna bet it because like I do Friday night games. It's just something about Friday night games. The score just look weird sometimes. And also too, Cristobal, he know how to mess stuff up. If they had somebody else at coach, like Ohio State coach maybe, or even maybe USC coach or something, but Cristobal, out of all the people you just like to fail, he's one of the biggest failures. He actually got, I think he's like 16-25, I think, as a spread over like 7. But this is a different Miami team. They do have a O-line that's going to be in NFL. They do have a D-line that's going to be in NFL. One thing I want to tell you about the Louisville games against Virginia, Virginia actually had 2 pick sixes. So actually Louisville true score won 27-16. So Louisville wasn't as bad as they looked last week. The issue with Louisville is CEO notes they have one of the worst O-lines, if not the worst in the country. And they about to face the best O-line in the country. They gave up 5 sacks to Virginia last week. The most sacks Virginia had all season, and they played Stanford, they played William & Mary, and they played Coastal Carolina. It was 2 sacks prior to the Louisville game. They only got 1 sack versus Coastal Carolina. They only got 2 sacks versus William & Mary, but Virginia got 5 sacks versus Louisville. So I'm with you on this one. It's going to be tough. If this was a Saturday game, it would be easy. I would throw big money on this one. But since it's a Friday game, I'm going to stay away. I do think Miami cover, though. I know we're going to parse words with this one, back and forth. You like Ohio State. I like Miami as far as the best team in the country. I like to say, even if we do parse words, I think they 1-2. So, like I said, y'all got something. Just watch out the Louisville backers, man. Just watch out. If old boy Moss on his back all day, how you going to get it to his playmakers? All right, we're going to jump on.
Right now, in my power rankings, and I know we're going on. Because you snuck that in. Honestly, okay. I actually have Miami at number 3. I think Indiana better than them.
Okay.
Yeah, until I see Miami go on the road and stomp somebody out like that, like
I got you.
I'm willing to bet Oregon does. I haven't seen Oregon's schedule. I think their next toughest game is USC, and they play. Who else do they play? I forgot who else they play.
Okay.
I don't think they lose another game, and that's going to be interesting. Like people, Ohio State won the national championship last year. And they went up to Oregon and couldn't do that to Oregon. So I get it. You can say it's different players there. Woo, 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 wop, wop, wop. I get it. But I honestly think Indiana would have did the same thing if Dylan Gabriel was that quarterback up there. I'm impressed by that. But top 3 teams, it is what it is. Let's keep it moving. But I just had to see you went Miami.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. Because I got a rebuttal on that one. What I look at with Miami and I look at with Indiana, and this, we're going to find out. I power rate Notre Dame better than I power rate Oregon. So I think beating Notre Dame was, to me, more impressive than Oregon, Indiana beating Oregon. So that's why I got them 2 and then Indiana behind them. But like I said, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
We'll keep going.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. 1, 2, 3,
Oregon
4, 5.
Oregon's going to be in the playoffs with Notre Dame.
Yep. So,
Oregon's going to be in the playoffs with Notre Dame.
Oh. I do change my tone. Notre Dame, if they fix their defense like it looked like because the only reason I say they win the playoff team, remember, because they couldn't stop nobody. If their defense is legit, if they actually got that scheme down right now and going to play like this, Notre Dame will be a playoff team. I do agree. All right, we're going to jump on to – I got a question on because I want to know how you feel about Mateer. Oklahoma, 5.5-point favorite over South Carolina, over under 43.5.
Now, last week he put up a stinker, but I honestly think he came back too early because I think his hand still hurts. As a quarterback with a broken hand coming back, like, what is that, 2 weeks? Don't really make sense. I don't know, man. I don't think too highly of South Carolina.
Not at all.
So,
not at all.
Oklahoma should be able to win, but if he's out there looking like how he looked against Texas, bro, this could be a close game and it can go either way. But I'm going to pick Oklahoma, man. So
with me, with Mateer is we know Oklahoma don't have a running game. You know who their running game is? Mateer. You know why he wasn't running last week? His hand he came back too early. So honestly, if I'd have thought about that last week, I'd have probably picked Texas. But I probably wouldn't have picked Texas because a quarterback named Dan Johnson. But that's a whole other subject. I think in this game, the worst position on the field is South Carolina offensive line. I think the best thing in this game right now is Oklahoma defense. So if anything, I feel the same way I felt remember at LSU last week. It was almost the same thing. LSU don't got to run a game. The quarterback got to do it all. But LSU, if you got defense, South Carolina can't beat you. What does it say? Oklahoma, what was it? I thought I had some numbers. That's what it is. CEO notes, and this is actually per PFF. pass blocking and run blocking grade, South Carolina ranked like 110 and 115. It is no way that they're going to be able to score or do anything against Oklahoma, because one thing they do have is an elite defense. With a battle line, like you said, I definitely would go Oklahoma money line. I actually stayed off of all of it because just mature. You see what I'm saying? What if he come this week and then he get hurt and they get down back up in? So we can move on that one. This is another one we got coming up. Penn State at Iowa. Iowa over under 39.5. Iowa 2.5-point favorite. What you got?
Man, I would actually take with it minus 2.5. I'd take Iowa, and to be honest with you, even Penn State, let's say they beat Oregon, or no, let's say they lost to Oregon and won these last two games. Iowa would probably be +7, and I would still would have took Iowa. It's hard to play up in Iowa. The only thing that worries me is, like I was telling you before the show, this is a spot where you can see, like, they got the coach up out of there. It's a breath of fresh air. I really don't know who the backup is out there at Penn State. You know what I mean? They might just rally up and rise up and just come out. You know how that stuff go when you get a new coach. I remember, like, and I hate to jump to pro, but when the Raiders first got Antonio Pierce, everybody thought they was cooking with cooking oil. Like, it looked like the whole situation was going to change. They were smoking cigars in the locker room, all that. For one game, they could rise up, and I just hope it ain't this game. But traditionally, and I keep telling you, because Indiana had a serious problem out there.
Got me with that game.
It's hard to play in Iowa. So,
yeah,
I'm going to take Iowa because I really think most of Penn State is probably with them firing James Franklin, I think a lot of them quit. Quarterback's out for the year. I would be surprised if some of these people with NFL grades don't start shutting it down for the season. So, I'm going to take Iowa.
So that's what I wanted to bring up when you was mentioning about them rallying up. I was going to go opposite. Penn State, you know what they were supposed to do this year? They were supposed to win a national championship. And now, they had multiple players didn't go to the pros to come back to win the championship. So now, you come back from the pros, you could have been in the NFL right now. You come back to win the championship. Now you got 3 losses. I'm not going to lie. I think half the team is trying to figure out where they're going to play next year in transfer portal, and the other half of the team going to try to chill because they don't want to get hurt. Why would you even plot? If I'm at Penn State right now and I got a pro grade, I'm going to get drafted, why would I even try? Like, why would I get hurt on the we might even make a bowl game. Why would I go out there hard for that, whoever that coach is, and get hurt? And now next year I'm what, 5th round instead of the 1st round? So honestly, man, I think they might even fold. And then it's already hard to play in Iowa, like you said. Iowa defense, I thought they wasn't as good as they used to be, but they really impressed me versus Indiana.
And Wisconsin.
They impressed versus Wisconsin also. So I'm not going to lie. Y'all will probably see this one later. I like Iowa minus at 2.5, and we're going to see. All right, let's jump over to the next one. We got Mississippi State at Florida. Florida 9.5-point favorite. Over under 51.5. What you got? You got anything on this one?
No.
I kind of figured. Y'all gonna learn, like, some of these games I put up for y'all that somebody gonna bet it. Jay just like he just pass it like I'm straight. Honestly, CL knows it's actually been hard to tell how good Mississippi State actually is. One thing I have seen, they got a good running game and they got a good defense. Even when they lost to A&M, it was only 7-3 in the 4th quarter. Florida, I don't know who they are either. I thought they would cover against Texas A&M the way it looked versus Texas, because Texas actually, if you see last week, got a legit defense, and Florida scored on them. But then last week, Florida couldn't even move the ball. Lagway, turnover waiting to happen. I'm just letting their freshman Wilson, I think he's still legit. I'm not going to lie, y'all. I would probably stay off this game if I was y'all. Just like last week when he said, don't touch, Kansas State, the TCU game. I'm not going to lie, y'all. I put this game up to kind of just tell y'all I wouldn't touch this game. This game, if you're going to touch this game, only thing I would touch is Mississippi State because I got almost 10 points. And I got a good defense. But other than that, I'm just telling y'all, kind of stay away from this game. These teams are jacking high, up and down. You don't know who's going to show up. And like I said, with Mississippi State having that good defense, I can see Lagway throwing some turnovers. This next one really intrigues me. Texas A&M, 7.5-point favorite at Arkansas, over under 61.5. Before you go, Jay, I got a question on this one.
Yes.
What do you power rank Texas A&M? That's the $1 million question, because I've raised them tremendously in my power ranking since the season started.
I mean, technically, they're the best team in the SEC right now, but I gotta see him against Bama. I gotta see him against some of these cats in the East, man. So me personally, I probably got him around like 8.
Okay. So while we on that subject, who are your top 5 teams? I'm catching them off guard, y'all. We ain't pre-programmed this.
Ohio State.
I'm just interested right now.
Let me do it. Okay, let's be honest. Ohio State, Indiana, Miami, Texas Tech.
I think I'm gonna blow y'all away when I tell you my number 5.
Bama.
Okay.
Bama's my number 5.
Okay. So I agree with you. The first 4. We got Miami, Ohio State, Indiana, Texas Tech. I like Notre Dame. And I know y'all gonna think I'm crazy, but I like Notre Dame. Notre Dame, if y'all, and I talked about this pre-show, just look at Notre Dame resume. Notre Dame lost 2 games, one by 3 points and one by 1 point to 2 top 5 ranked teams in the country right now. The only 2 losses they got 2 of the best losses in the country in any team. Every other team they played, they are smoked them and not even close. So if you tell me, if you take Indiana, matter of fact, if Indiana played Texas A&M in Miami back-to-back weeks, one of them could be a loss. So I really think people sleep on Notre Dame. I think they're going. I'm not going to say they're going to go to the championship this year. And I'm the first one. I was on the show. Remember, said they were not a playoff team. I think Notre Dame going to end up doing what they did last year. And they're going to run the table and win the rest of their games. And they're going to go to the playoffs with 2 losses. Because when you go to that committee come up and you lost to Miami by 3 and Texas A&M by 1, those are not bad losses. So we can go on to this game. You got anything on this one? I just wonder. We want to switch it up a little bit, man. I know we're in the middle of the season, man. It's going to talk top 5.
I mean, Texas A&M and I hate doing this, but like you said, they showed they on Notre Dame's level. Notre Dame stomped Arkansas. It really wasn't that close.
Mm-hmm.
I think Arkansas will be a little more game because this is a conference, an SEC game. But yeah. I don't think they have anything for Texas A&M. They do look impressive. Arkansas has not impressed me. A lot of people are impressed with them and kind of look at it like, oh, it's Arkansas. Nah, they just, they usually cool for about a quarter. So I got Texas A&M getting them up out of there, bro. If you bet in that game, I take Texas A&M. I probably buy down the point just to be safe. Just in case Arkansas dropped a nuts. Pause.
Yeah. So what's crazy is the Sharps are Arkansas. I'm not scared of the Sharps.
They was on Washington too, man. I
was just about to say that. No, I was just about to tell you that.
I argue with people all the time. Like at work, they're like, "Hey, Jared Goff is number 3 in the MVP rating." I'm like, "Hey, the Sharps also said Canelo was gonna knock out Crawford." Like I don't listen to that. I know what my eyes tell me. Yeah, being on Arkansas is drunk, bro.
But you cut me off. But that's what I was getting to. Oh. That's exactly what I was getting to. The Sharps is on Washington versus Ohio State. The Sharps is on Florida State versus Miami. But you know what? A good thing about us, when you're Sharps, sometimes you don't worry about other Sharps. You worry about yourself. And so I know we done had this conversation, and people come to me and say, "Hey, everybody's saying this team, everybody's saying that team, saying this team." No, black out all that stuff on ESPN. What do we think about it? And most of the time, we normally correct, and the public is normally wrong. So I'm with you on this one. I like Texas A&M. They did struggle versus, like I said, Auburn, Mississippi State, which are 2 good-ass defenses. So I'm not knock them for that. But Florida also got a good-ass defense. They've been elite all year, and they went up and out. Man, that was impressive. So I think Texas A&M roll. Y'all going to be able to see Texas A&M pop back up later in the show. I'm going to have them on something. This is going to be a big step down in class. They face Mississippi State defense, Auburn defense, and Florida defense. Now you're about to face a defense who probably ranked about 125 in the country. So if anything, Arkansas can score. But, yeah, I think Texas A&M win by at least 14. All right, let's jump over to the team who surprised me last week, and we talked about at the beginning of the show. We got Washington at Michigan. Michigan minus 5.5, over under 50.5. What you got?
Man, this game is tough, bro, because it's at the big house. It's at noon, and everybody know how I feel about cross-country trips. I hate them. And I've been pretty much right when I bet against, like, when they went to Maryland. Who was that who just went to Maryland and couldn't cover? Nebraska. Like, I don't like that flying real far. But the
Mm-hmm.
problem is, unless Michigan corrects some of their issues, Washington has a team that can not only cover, that could actually beat them. Because
Yes.
the way USC is able to run the ball, man, shit, Washington
Yes.
did it last year to them and
Yes.
beat them. So
Yes.
it's weird. I just don't know if they're gonna be up for them at 9 in the morning. But I just seen UCLA walk into Michigan State
Mm-hmm.
and plant a flag at like noon. So on this one, man, I gotta go with the better team. And right now, I think it's Washington, man. Michigan don't have any receivers. I don't know
Preach.
if Justice Hayes is still banged up or not, because that's their home run hitter. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
Marsh is coming on. I like the tall, lanky guy, but they don't use him right. It's
Yeah.
supposed to be not Hail Marys, but 50-50 balls to him.
Yeah.
Balls, but they don't do that. So I can see, man, I hate the time. I really hate the
That's the
time.
only thing. Listen, if it's like in Washington, I'm going Washington big. I'm being Washington big if it's in Washington. Real quick though, somebody made this comment, and what you think about it? They said Michigan best 2 games this year was when Sharon Moore was suspended.
I mean, that sound like every Michigan fan walking the planet. Man, I've never seen a man's job just go in jeopardy so crazy. Like, it's wild. But if you watch the way he play, and this is the thing Washington could do, he's a scary play caller, bro. Like, he's
Mm-hmm.
scared. He gonna stick to that. We gotta bully you to beat you. And if he fall down a couple scores, he has no way to get back in the game. The only reason he beat Ohio State last year is he just played muscle ball, and Ohio State didn't put points up. But anytime he's against a team and they put some points up on him quick, it's over. Like Oklahoma.
Yeah.
That game was an 11-point game for about 45 minutes, bro. And he couldn't do nothing to get back in it. USC, they got some stops. They even got the one big play, and it wasn't even like a play that they designed. It was a missed tackle. After that, they couldn't figure out how to get. They don't have explosion without Hayes.
No,
so without Justice. So,
is he out? I didn't catch the injury report, because if he out, I'm on Washington big.
If he out, I don't know if he out, man. He seemed like a dog. So
Yeah,
other running back ain't bad, but either way, man, I get why they don't like Sharon Moore. And Michigan's whole identity is basically leaning on you and beating you up. If they can't do that, they sitting ducks, bro. So
so Michigan, honestly, the only 2 impressive games was when he didn't play. The offense had a disappointing showing versus Wisconsin. I honestly thought that was like, remember that they were struggling versus Wisconsin, but I was like, you know what? That's probably like one of look ahead games, because they about to play USC. No, their offense really was struggling versus Wisconsin. I don't like that. Also, too, they struggled versus USC. Who scored 31 on USC? Michigan State. Who scored 34 on USC? Illinois. And they couldn't move the ball. Like you said, that one long touchdown, the dude caught the ball, the corner just missed him. Like, it really, like any receiver could have did that.
Happened.
Any receiver could have did that. I'm not impressed with them. Like I said in the preseason, that they don't have receivers that can separate. As soon as Michigan gets some good receivers, watch out for them. Underwood can't do everything by itself. You need receivers that can separate sometimes.
But they got handcuffs on that dude. And the second thing I hate about his situation is he's still a freshman. So with all of this being said, you got to account for he's gonna make some freshman mistakes, bro. So honestly, I don't want to go too far. If they lose this game, they on upset alert for me next week against Michigan State. I'm being dead ass, bro. And I guarantee you, if they lose to Michigan State, he getting fired, bro.
So one thing, Washington, and when you did mention the cross country travel, they traveled to Maryland. They were down 20-0 versus Maryland. They did come back and win. They also got down to Rutgers 10-0 when they went to Rutgers. But they did come back and win. They actually beat them 28-6 or something in the second half. So they ended up beating them by double digits. So they have been starting slow. But I'm with you. I'm with you on Washington. Washington, I like the quarterback. Michigan has known to struggle with running quarterbacks, and this dude is fast. That dude, Boston, is a legit receiver. They got the big dude at running back, so they can move the ball. And Washington defense actually has good corners, so they about to take a step down in class to cover Michigan. So all now you got to do is just stack the box and play that conservative offense. I honestly, this was going to be one of my upsets, but that's cross-country travel. I got to back off that. And I hate it, too, because we backed off, remember, Illinois because of that cross-country travel. Illinois went and won. They went and won. So I wouldn't be surprised, honestly, if Washington win. I love it. If this is at 7.5, I will definitely go all in on this one. But I do definitely like Washington. Y'all see them later in
Who
one
in
of my other
Illinois is going to win?
USC.
USC came to Illinois.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So
that's
that cross country shit worked.
It was the opposite. It was the opposite. Okay. Yeah, it was the opposite.
No, man. I'm taking the points, man. Give me the points, bro. And I just gotta let it play how it play. I'm down on Michigan right now, man. I don't like what I'm seeing out there. So
for sure. All right. We got and yeah, correction, y'all. It was actually USC coming to Illinois.
Country stuff, man.
Yeah, it was a cross country. That's the one, and that was the reason that. So that's what. Yeah. So now it's coming back to me. It's coming back to me, y'all. So USC was going to Illinois, and I was gonna have Illinois after getting blown off by Indiana. It was gonna be my upset alert, and I was gonna just be money line pick of the week, but I didn't pick them because Illinois had secondary injuries, and they still won. That's what it was. All right, we're gonna jump to this next one. USC at Notre Dame. And I know you got something on this one, so talk to me. Notre Dame 9.5 point favorite over under 61.5.
USC, bro, and it all goes down because you've been setting this up all show. Like, you think really high at Notre Dame. Guess what? I don't, and I'm gonna keep it real with you. Okay. USC just out Michigan. Mm-hmm. Notre Dame to me is Michigan. It's not the same school, but they have the same concept. Meaning they want to run the ball. They got better. Jeremiah Love is supposed to be the best running back in the country. I get it. But, I mean, he's not levels above Haynes. He's not levels above the Michigan running backs. If USC could withstand that, I think they could withstand Notre Dame's running the ball. And the other part is USC is showing they can run the ball. Can Notre Dame stop that? And if you can stop that, USC can throw the ball. So, be interested to see what you're gonna have to pick your point. Put 7 in the box, and USC gonna run it, or are you gonna put 8 in the box and leave them corners on the island? If you do that, good luck. And USC coming to Notre Dame is not cross country. This is something they do every year. This is a rivalry. This is these two teams' rivalry. And you gonna give me 10 points? Man, I'm taking 10, bro. And low key, if I'm having a real good day, I might take USC to win as an upset, bro. I do not think Notre Dame is that. And I think it's going to be funny. That's why I was saying, how can Texas A&M or whoever or Miami beating Notre Dame be more impressive than Indiana beating Oregon when Oregon is going to the playoffs and Notre Dame isn't?
So I guess
if they lose, it's over.
Of course. No, you're right. You're definitely right. So, like I said, we're on opposite sides on this one. I do like Notre Dame. I do think they can go to the playoffs. So this is where we differ. The way you feel about Notre Dame is the way I feel about Oregon. And so that's where we differ. You know what I'm saying? I don't think Oregon is Oregon. I don't think where they was last year. I think they power rated levels down. And I know you think that about Notre Dame. So we honestly just on opposite sides. We'll find out weeks to come and we'll find out who's right. But I do like Notre Dame. And like I said, I like their resume. When they had to handle business, you said what?
Give me that. Ain't nothing else to discuss. Give me the 9 points, the champ chain.
So I'm not taking the 9, and the only reason I'm not taking the 9, and I was gonna just say that I don't know. So Notre Dame, no, but I'm a smart bettor. So look, let me explain myself though. The Notre Dame defense has looked good the past 3 games. But we have to wait and see. The last that's what I'm about to say. You jumping ahead of me, bro. You jumping ahead of me. The last 3 games, this is CEO notes. They played Arkansas after 2 straight losses and the last second fumbles after 2 straight losses on last second fumbles. They played Boise State, who only scored 7 points to South Florida, and they played NC State team who playing like 9 Power 4 teams. So that's exactly. So you beat me too. I was just about to say that. The reason I don't want to take that 9, I don't know if Notre Dame defense really legit. That's why I was just about to say. That's why I said earlier, if their defense is legit, they're a top 5 team. I don't know if the defense is legit yet. So that's what I was trying to tell you. So that's why I don't take this 9. If I knew the Notre Dame defense was good, I would take this 9. But that's the reason I can't take it. USC did impress, like I said, versus Michigan. But I actually downgraded Michigan. I didn't upgrade USC. Michigan is what I thought they was when the season first started. in the future show, people was like, why are you going under 9.5 Michigan? They got an easy schedule. Yeah, because Michigan is probably weak as some of these teams that y'all calling weaker. And so if you're not Ohio State, Indiana, you can't call it an easy schedule. When you on the lights with Washington and Iowa, you can't call these teams easy if that's where you kind of power rated at. And so that's why I had them at. That's why I like Michigan under 9.5. So even though I did, it was impressive. I actually downgraded Michigan. So that's why I want to bet USC either. I don't know how good USC is because they haven't played nobody yet either. As far as just full season. So I don't know if Notre Dame got a good defense, and I don't know if USC good.
And they played Michigan.
They play who?
Lost. I know how people feel about that, but they traveled across country and they kind of had that game. It came to a walk-off field goal. I'm no excuses though. I like USC, man. And even though I feel like they should have beat Michigan State by more, that's the only little dent in the armor that I'm kind of like, But 10 points in a rivalry, that's crazy, dog.
It's big. Real CEO notes on USC. Wide receiver Makai Lemon has been elite from the slot this year. He's honestly been the number one slot, basically from the slot all season. One thing I did here is that Notre Dame's top cover corner, they're thinking about shadowing Makai Lemon. So that's one thing that might help Notre Dame if they can, because Makai Lemon, that dude been uncoverable like this all season. And so if Notre Dame can shadow him, they might have something with it. But like I said, I'm gonna stay off this game because, like I said, Notre Dame, they played defense against Miami and did that, or A&M, or they played a good team. But the Boise State, they haven't really played anybody that. Now Arkansas do have a good offense, but it's after them losing like 3 or 4 games in a row of fumbles. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to come to play. We talked about it before the game. Is Arkansas going to show up? And they didn't. So let's go ahead and we almost had a champ chain on that one, but he's not giving me with that 9.5 because I'm with you on that one. Ole Miss at Georgia. Georgia got a 7.5 point favorite. Is a 7.5 point favorite over under 53.5. What you think about this one?
Georgia has not been impressive this year at all. Really, they've been playing real strange and having to do hero ball at the end to win. Ole Miss, I would have honestly picked them to win if I didn't see them look as human as they looked last week against Washington State.
Yeah,
but Lane Kiffin, bro, that I don't know, bro. Like he has a squad out. They are good. They should be in the top 5, like we're talking. But I think we all know they gonna blow one of these games. I don't know which one it is. Is it gonna be Georgia? Is it going to be 2 weeks from now? Is it going to be in the rivalry game against Mississippi State? It's coming. It's coming. And I still don't like – I mean, the quarterback they put in is better. But I still don't like waiting until mid-season for this guy to take over. Like, it's a lot of weird stuff down there that lets me know these dudes just I kind of feel like he just can't get right, bro. Like he's not a national champion. He's on that Brian Kelly. They're both better than James Franklin because they'll beat some ranked teams, but they're not threats to win it all. So it's hard for me to pick them. I would like to think they could cover the plus 7.5, but yeah, man, I'm gonna stay off this game, man. Give me the the 53.5. You know what? Fuck that. Give me the over.
Okay. Well, I do have some CEO notes on this one that I wrote down. This is not the normal Georgia team by any means. They got down big early versus Tennessee. They got down big early versus Bama. And I told you, if not for a fumble, they would have been down 17-0 versus Auburn, who can't score versus anybody. So the defense don't get pressure. That's one reason they get down. They just don't get the normal Georgia defense will get pressure. This is the first year I think I've ever seen Georgia in bottom tier as far as getting pressure. That's hurting them. The offense is dink and dunk. They do not stretch the field. They just throw these little 5-yard screens and they already run with the quarterback. So it's a little bit easier, or people have been having an easier time stopping their offense. We're going to see if Kirby Smart, how legit he is as a coach these coming years, because now that everybody getting paid, Georgia ain't as good as they used to be. That's a whole nother subject. Ole Miss last week, I've seen Ole Miss play good against LSU. I've seen them beat Arkansas. I've seen them play good against better teams. I'm not going to say Arkansas like a great team. I'm going to chalk that last week up to looking ahead to Georgia. I think just like Ohio State versus Wisconsin, they probably didn't even scout Wisconsin. Whoever they playing next, they probably was in the room watching them because they're gonna be Wisconsin regardless. I think Ole Miss kind of did something like that, and they stubbed their toe last week. So I'm gonna wipe that game out. Now, one thing I did note, CEO notes, 6 minutes left in the first. Ole Miss should have been up 10-0. Versus Washington State, they got stopped near the goal line and missed the field goal. True score with 6 minutes left in the fourth should have been 34-14. So Ole Miss was driving the ball down the field. It's just they kept them getting stopped in the red zone. So that honestly should have been a bigger win. If that was a bigger win, more people would be on Ole Miss. I say it every week, and I think I text you this every week. This ain't the same Georgia team.
No,
so I'm gonna take Ole Miss in this one. I'm just gonna make Georgia just cover 7. They haven't been winning by margin like that this year against good teams. Like you said, Ole Miss is a good team. I'm gonna roll with that. All right, we got LSU and Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt, for the first time, is favored in the history against LSU, and I think the first time they've been favored versus a ranked team in like 80 years. So this is new territory. They're 2.5-point favorites over under 48.5. I'm really interested, Jay, to hear what you got to say because I remember what you were saying about them last week or 2 weeks ago when they played Bama. How do you feel now, 2 weeks later? You loved them 2 weeks ago.
One, I think what hurts them is now everybody kind of sees them coming. They rank like number 17 in the country. Like, it's not we got Vanderbilt. They don't catch people sleeping anymore. Mm-hmm. LSU's defense should be able to keep Diego in check, bro. And because Alabama made him look human. Mm-hmm. So in this one, man, I hope we go up to 3.5. I got to take LSU, man, going in there. They need this game more because, Vanderbilt, it looked like they're competing for the playoffs, but they can't mess with these heavy hitters because who else they still got? Because I don't think they can beat Tennessee. Mm-hmm. I don't think I'm sure they got to play Georgia. I don't think they can beat Georgia. If they don't have to play Georgia, they got to play Ole Miss. I don't think they can beat Ole Miss. LSU is in that category, so I got to take LSU. The only other ranked team I see Vanderbilt beating would be Missouri. And they might not be ranked by the time they go. Oh, yeah, they can't beat Texas A&M either. So, Vanderbilt story is about to, just like last year, it was cute.
Yeah.
I think it's about to, I think it's over. Because they're not going to put up points on LSU. The question is LSU's quarterback, does he want to be drafted in the first round or not? Because he's going to have to figure this shit out.
Yeah.
If he does, he's going to have to start rolling and stop picks and putting his team in bad situations. I got LSU plus points.
So the reason I didn't bet them against Bama, like everybody was betting them, because supposedly Vanderbilt has a better team this year because supposedly they have a better offense this year. But they beat Charleston Southern. They beat Virginia Tech. We know Virginia Tech, how bad they are this year. Bad. They beat South Carolina with a backup quarterback, scored 31 points. South Carolina defense, okay. They scored 70 versus Georgia State. They scored 55 versus Utah State. How are you going to tell me they got a good offense when they playing these non-Power 4 teams? That's not a good offense. Y'all going to learn when y'all bet. Y'all can listen to PFF because they just throw out stats. But when they throw out stats saying Vanderbilt the number 10 offense in the country, if they didn't play 5 defenses ranked in the hundreds, they're not the number 10 offense in the country. And that's why I didn't bet them against Bama. I'm with you on this one, though. Everything he just said, y'all can put that in quotation marks. I agree with everything he just said. On top of that, the one thing I'm going to put y'all on is I did watch the LSU game. They got a former LSU basketball player named Trey Green. He had 8 catches for 119 yards and a touchdown. Dude was 6'7". Dude was not – he reminded me of Pickens. He tall as hell. They could not cover dude. That's how they beat South Carolina. They couldn't cover him. And I honestly think South Carolina defense probably a Vanderbilt-type defense. Also, too, that they rushed for 160 yards last game. LSU was the first game their running game got going. So what I think is going to happen is LSU about to take a big step down in class against the defense. I told you, Vanderbilt do not have a good defense. They give a 55 to Utah State. I really think LSU, like you said, I think this is a game where they get rolling. I think the running back get rolling. I think the quarterback get rolling. And just watch out, y'all. That tight end, Trey Green, remember, dude looked legit on film. I don't know why he didn't do that shit at the beginning of the year, but I think they're going to unlock their offense. And on top of that, even against what was it? The last game, true score last game was 27-10 versus South Carolina. Not even 20-10. LSU literally about to score and threw a touchdown, threw an interception in the end zone. So that 27-10 would have even looked better. So we're gonna jump on to the next thing. And I haven't had one of these on 3-0, y'all. I haven't had one in a couple weeks. Like I said, Illinois, I missed that one. Couldn't find nothing. I'm glad I thought about Michigan. I'm glad I didn't. Man, that would look bad. But we're gonna go LSU money line, like he said. Talent for talent, LSU got the better talent. What's funny is we're gonna find out the real Vanderbilt. You see what I'm saying? Just imagine if the season switched around and Vanderbilt played the end of their schedule first and they played the beginning of the schedule last. Right now, Vanderbilt might be like
3-5.
4-7. You see what I'm saying? Like 3-5. And so, like you said, I think the bottom about to fall out. I think the story is over. And so that's my money line of the week. I love it. This one, I do like. And I do like the fact that I know who he likes, so I really love it. We got Utah 3.5-point favorite at BYU, over under 49.5. He got something for you on this one later. What you got?
I gotta go BYU, bro. I got to. This is crazy. Like going, I get it. They're all in Utah and all of that, but BYU just keeps winning games. I am not impressed with Utah, and I'm not buying into that win beating Arizona State like that without Levitt. Like no. So I'm BYU, bro. I think BYU got a shot to win the Big 12. I'm just not impressed with Utah. Like I said last week, the games I watch when they got to travel the field looks like it's about, instead of 100 yards, it looks like it's about 350 yards to that quarterback out there. They run methodical, slow. They can't get loose. I honestly think Texas Tech put the blueprint out on them. Now, BYU is not Texas Tech. Let's not get crazy.
Not at all.
But they can hang and survive, and when it comes down to the end, they can end you by 3. So I'm taking BYU.
I like the opposite. I do like Utah to win. One thing I do like about Utah is Utah, at least I think the O-line, like a number 2, the top 3 O-lines in the country right now is Miami, Utah, and Iowa. The reason it's hard, Texas Tech just another level. We'll talk about that later. But they just a whole nother level. But it's hard to beat Dan Pierre back there when you can't get to him. BYU don't bring pressure. So that means Dan Pierre going to be to sit back there all day, decide what he want to do, run, pass the ball. On the flip side, Utah does get pressure. BYU O-line is suspect. Now, BYU has been winning. The quarterback running the ball 20 times and the running back running the ball 20 times. I honestly think BYU was kind of fraudulent. They barely beat Colorado. They barely beat Arizona. And
Arizona tough though. Arizona sneaky tough, bro. At Arizona they beat them.
But the Arizona, if I think I got my math right, lost to Iowa State 39-14. Yeah. I think I got my math right. Was that? I think I wrote that down right.
Okay.
I think I wrote that down right. So I don't think BYU is the team. And then, like I said, they should have lost, actually. Went to overtime. They actually came back at the end and got the victory. Yep, I'm right. Arizona lost to Iowa State 39-14, who got smoked by Cincinnati. And not saying Cincinnati bad. I just think Iowa State not the team we thought they was. And so to struggle versus Colorado, struggle versus Arizona, and they've been getting kind of lucky. And you know how bad you feel about Colorado now. Yeah. Like even Houston smacked Colorado. So I just think BYU frauds. One thing I am scared of, and the only thing I'm scared of, is a rivalry game, and it's in BYU. It is hard, and it might come back to home like Indiana, Iowa, but it is hard. And I'm telling y'all up front before he even say it, it is hard to win in BYU. It is very hard to win in BYU. I think people downgraded Utah if they lost to Texas Tech, and like I said after the game. But I'm saying, like I said after the game,
getting beat at home like that, it's hard to get out your head. I might just be a Utah hater now.
So what I was going to say is sometimes you don't have to downgrade a team, you can upgrade a team. That game just showed me that Texas Tech was an upgrade, and I think Utah is what they were. Because since that game, Utah's won by double digits just about every game. And not saying they just beat some good teams, but you still got to beat who you got to beat. Normally a team like that get kicked out the stadium, you know what I'm saying, come back, you know what I'm saying, win by 3, like how Illinois is coming and really winning. No, they came back and stomping. And so I do like Utah. I think I got 2 words for you though. I know what your parlay say a little bit later. I know you like them to win. You want a champ chain? Money line?
You?
Money line. I got Utah money
line.
line.
Nah, hell no. No, I'm not champ chaining this game.
I'm only asking because you feel strong on your parlay about BYU.
Yeah.
That's the only reason I even ask.
Yeah.
You feel strong about it.
But you also got to look at what goes into my parlays. So that's the last game of the night. I'm trying to get through the first 2, see how I'm feeling, and I might cash it out. I'm not over here like I'm not champ chaining it, bro. I have to be.
You are good. I just had to bring it up. You know, I got to bring it up, man. When I know you feel strong about the other side. Nah. This one is a game. I think we got some frauds in this game. We got Georgia Tech at Duke, and I brought this up because I know you like Georgia Tech.
Yes.
Duke 1.5 point favorite, over under 61.5. I want to know why you like Georgia Tech on this one.
Because I think they got a Heisman candidate at quarterback, to be honest. Okay. Ain't no other reason at all. Like sometimes when it comes to college, I keep it simple. Okay. Who got the best player on the field? Going down to Duke, I seen Duke play people tough, but I also seen Illinois go down to Duke and kind of just smack them all the way around, right? So Georgia Tech is not far off from them. Now, I don't know. I know you watch a little more tape, so you might see a weakness you like that you think Duke can expose, and I always respect that. But give me Georgia Tech on this one, man.
So, honestly,
they got the best 2 players out there, King and Haynes.
Mensah has been looking good. Like, I gave him the benefit of the doubt. New quarterback, new system. You be too quick on it, man. You be too quick. You gotta let me talk first. Mensah has been looking real good. They actually found a decent running back too. Dude been running on Duke got a good running game because early in the season, Mensah was passing the ball like 40 times a game. Lately, they've been playing a little bit more even. Since they've been playing even, Duke has looked a whole lot better. But the reason I don't want to champ chain this one, I think it's 2 fraud teams. I don't think Georgia Tech, a playoff team, really. If they make it, they're going to make it at 12 or 11. They struggle versus Wake Forest. No way you should struggle versus Wake Forest. Duke, they wins versus California. So I'm not going to lie. I think these 2 fraud teams, I wouldn't champ chain this one. But gun to head, if I had to make a pick, I would pick Duke. But I'm not champ chaining the 2 fraud teams like I did last week. So the problem is you could have beat me last week with the two fraud teams and you didn't take it. You got to take that next time because you had Kansas State over TCU. Oh, yeah. And I feel like this is a Kansas State TCU game right here, and so that's why I'm not going to touch it. That's what that is right there.
Georgia Tech's still undefeated though, so
they are. But I think they're so far undefeated. They were down by double digits. I think to Wake Forest had to come back and beat them in overtime by like 1 point. So
Cinderella story.
Yeah, a lot of people on Georgia Tech. I like Duke, but nah, we can't champ chain this one, man. It's 2 fraud teams playing each other. But like I said, gun in the hand, I got Duke. All right, we're gonna jump over to the alt parlay. This is a blueprint parlay. This is going to be a staple all year. We got Washington. We already said we like Washington to win the game against Michigan. It's a sleepy spot as far as traveling all the way over, so I'm going to give them 11.5 points. LSU, y'all know how I feel about LSU. Then they're going to win the game. We're going to give them 7.5. Texas A&M, me and Jay both the same Texas A&M. I'm going to money line them. And I'm liking this parlay as I'm going on because we told y'all when me and Jay agree, I'm starting to like it more and more. We both is on Missouri. I give them 7.5 points. Auburn, come on now. To beat a team with no quarterback and all you can do is run the ball by more than 7, it's going to be tough. Miami is a Friday game. That's why I gave them 6. I think they can at least beat Louisville by 6 points with that dominant D-line and by Louisville O-line being one of the worst in the country. Texas Tech is tricky. I think it's one of the trickiest ones on there. I know you don't like Notre Dame, but to me, I think Texas Tech kind of tricky because I do like Levitt. But the reason I like Texas Tech is I power rate them in the top 5. You power rate in the top 5. And if you tell me Levitt had a foot injury and he want to play immobile, I like Texas Tech to get the win. Notre Dame, me and him, we both on opposite sides of that one. He got 9.5. He didn't necessarily. You think they're gonna win? Or you think they're just gonna definitely cover?
I mean, I think they can win, but I think they're gonna cover. I think they're definitely gonna cover.
Okay, so I did take Notre Dame money line. because it just made sense. We still got plus 1,000. And then Utah, even if Utah do go in and lose in BYU, I think it's the last second field goal.
Rivalry game.
Yeah, I think it's the last second field goal. We got plus 1,000 on here, plus 10-15. I love that. Let's go. We got Jay's Nappy Roots parlay.
Yeah, man, I call it the Nappy Roots parlay. A lot of y'all probably don't even know who that rap group is, bro. But they some country boys, and when I say country boys, they from way out there. I mean, they're from Kentucky, but nobody really know what part of Kentucky. They just out there in the middle of nowhere. So I took a bunch of teams that are from the middle of nowhere from USC. So I took Iowa money line, man. I expect them to beat Penn State. I took BYU money line at home. Like, a lot of magical things have been going on for them, so I truly do expect them to win this game. I'm not champ chaining it because it's a rivalry game, a fumble here, interception there. It can go either way, but I'm very confident. I also like USC plus 9.5 after seeing what they did to Michigan. Even if they don't win, I think they can hang with anybody in the nation. No bad losses. Even the Illinois one. You saw Illinois against Ohio State. They still lost. What was that? 34-16. Like, that's the closest anybody came besides Texas. And against Texas, they kind of said, "Hey, we didn't believe they could score, so we didn't show nothing." So that's a solid loss. I think USC, and they only lost to Illinois by 3. I think they can play with anybody, bro.
Okay. One thing I did forget to mention earlier when you mentioned about USC and Michigan, the difference and you mentioned Notre Dame. I don't know if you really been following Notre Dame this year like that, but they're not the same. We got to rely on the run team. They actually been throwing the ball down the field, and dude's been pretty accurate. So the one reason I do like Notre Dame is Michigan is one-dimensional. Notre Dame is actually two-dimensional for the first time in a while. And so that's another reason I like it. And I forgot to mention that earlier. I wanted to throw that out there for y'all on the CEO notes. That's all.
So I saw it the first 2 weeks. I respected against Texas A&M because I didn't know who Texas A&M was at the time. Like, I thought they were a ranked team. The game against Miami, I'm starting to realize with a lot of these with most games, you got to throw the first game out, bro. You got to throw the first game out, bro. Like, I remember I thought Kansas State was going to rebound to be a decent team after watching week 1 and all that. And what are they now, like 3-4, 2-4, something terrible. So that magical comeback against Miami to lose, I got to do it again.
Of course. Agree. Nothing wrong with that. All right, we got the CEO's Icewear Vezo Moneyline Parlay. And if y'all from the D, and maybe y'all don't even have to be from the D, because I love that song Perfect with the baby. And the reason I call this the Icewear Vezo Parlay, because every team on here, they got defense. That Detroit D, Texas Tech, defense, A&M, defense, Iowa, defense, LSU, defense, Utah, defense. So, yes, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 teams with real good defenses. We from the D. I don't got my D hat on right now. The yellow kind of little matched my top, so I kind of threw this on. I'm not a Lakers fan either, but sometimes I wear the hat so it to match. Shout out to that dope hat you got on over there. I love that, bro. But it's plus 977, and then nothing is safe. Nothing. But I'd like this plus 977 parlay. I like it a whole lot. All right, we're going to jump on to my best bets. I got 3 of them this week. I do like the fact that my 3 best bets this week, we both agree on. Yeah, so I do like that. I love that. So y'all take that to the bank. Iowa, we already talked about it. We talked about Ole Miss. We talked about A&M. Hopefully we can go 3-0. All right, man. What you got, man? Any last words?
Man, I'm all crickets, man. Let's try to get some money this weekend, man. You know where to find us. You can find me on TikTok talk shit about the Cowboys. I got the US, or excuse me, I can say US. That's how much I believe in USC. I keep saying USC instead of UFC. I got the UFC show coming, man. Yeah, man. Good week. Week went by fast. So, God bless, and good luck this weekend. We don't get money, boys. We're gonna try to get some money for you. Let's see you at the counter, and we're gonna holler at y'all next week.
All right, y'all. We about to get out of here, man. Catch y'all next time. Make sure y'all keep following us. I see the followers and stuff going up. It's moving. I know one day we're gonna take over the world, and when that happens, y'all gonna be witness.